Hi, I'm Ashley Cooley, a birth, baby, and sleep specialist and mom of 3. There's so much information out there, right? This show is dedicated to helping you clear out the noise so you can figure out what will work best for your baby and your family. If you're looking to learn more about your baby, gain more confidence in your parenting, and get as much sleep as you can through it all, you've come to the right place. Bringing up baby is about to get a little easier. Everybody, welcome back. This is Ashley Cooley, and we're here with another episode. It's been a minute. I think our last one was around daylight savings time, which was when? March? That's a long time. But we've been busy, and we're still here. So I wanted to put this episode out for a couple of reasons. One, just to remind you that we're still here and that we're going to get some regular episodes coming up again by September. So we're going to take the summer to kind of take a mini break, but also get ready for a new season. So we'll be getting out some more episodes on a regular basis soon. But the other reason we needed to get this one out ASAP is because it is hot. It is getting hot. This is probably our first of maybe a few little heat waves we could be getting here. And I know what you're thinking. We worry about our babies if they're comfortable, but also to make sure that they're staying safe. So we're going to talk about this, keeping baby comfortable and safe in the heat, particularly when it comes to sleep and overnight, because isn't everything worse overnight? Like naps, we can even okay, well, at least I'm around and I can kind of watch over or check in on them, but nighttime and we're also trying to sleep and we're just worried if they're in another room or what are they wearing? It's too hot. What's going on? So yeah, that's why we're doing this. And I hope it really helps you because I've got some pretty good tips here. All right. So when the temps start creeping up towards 30 degrees is really when we start to worry, right? Because of course we know summer can be hot. We're going to stay in the shade. We're going to use our sunscreen. We're going to try to be near water, stay inside, between 10 and 2 and things like that, or out of the sun. When on those hot days, right? But let's talk about some more specifics of when it's really creeping up hot. I feel very fortunate now that we have air conditioning. We didn't always. When our kids were younger and babies, we did not have air conditioning. And this was definitely something that I worried about and researched and figured out the best ways to keep everybody cool and comfortable. So trust me when I say that these tips are both tried and true, as well as scientifically proven to help. So aside from air conditioning, because obviously if we have access to that, we're going to use it. But aside from that, let's talk about how we're going to keep babies cool and comfortable if we don't have air conditioning, or maybe if we are sleeping in new places or that sort of thing. So first thing I'm going to say is it actually starts during the daytime. And so right now, when it's sunny outside, when it is getting warmer, we want to close the windows. We want to close the blinds and curtains. We want to try to keep that light and heat outside and try to keep the inside as it is. I know obviously it's still going to get warm, but if we have the windows open and we have the blinds open, we're just letting in more heat. So close the windows and the blinds during the day. Open the windows overnight because, yes, it typically does get at least a little bit cooler overnight. And if there's any kind of breeze, we want that fresh circulating air. That's not like that heat of the sun kind of air. Okay? So close those windows and blinds during the day. Open the windows overnight. Use a fan to help circulate the air around. The only thing that I would say about a fan, particularly with the really young, fresh babies, we don't want to point it directly at their face and just leave it there, right? It's different if it's oscillating and it's just turning back and forth around the room and it just kind of catches their face or their body once in a while. That's different. But if you had a fan on just directly going into their face, it can take their breath away a little bit, right? And change how they're breathing. So let's get it oscillating or just blowing in a different direction. So we're just getting at least some circulating air. Even if it's warm air, it's circulating, and that's going to be helpful. So if necessary, so I've done this before. I Googled this because, man, one time it was so hot. I had one of those monitors. I think, well, a lot of people, if you have a monitor, it's usually a video monitor, right? And a lot of times now they have like the temperature gauge on them. So I can remember at least one time, but I'm sure it's happened many other times. But this one particular time, I'm looking at the monitor. I have a baby who at the time, she was probably only a month old actually. And she's napping, and it's like, it was, I think it said like 29, 30, 31. Anyway, as the temperature was rising and getting that hot in her room, it was turning red. So even the monitor was like, hey, these are some dangerous temperatures to be in. So I'm freaking out, like, well, what are we going to do? Sleeping at night, all that kind of stuff. So I tried this trick that I Googled, and if it worked, it actually felt really awesome. And so I just got a bowl and filled it with ice. Like, you just go get a party bag of ice, put some in a bowl, put that in front of the fan. Now the fan is going to be distributing some cooler air from that ice, rather than just the warm or hot air that's in the room. So that can just cool things down even further if you really feel like you need that little extra something. Short of, which I've also done, just take that baby and sleep down in the basement or go somewhere else if you have that option. Upstairs is obviously going to be more hot than anywhere else in your house. So if you have that option to just be on a different floor first, just to get some cooling action, that obviously would help too. Another thing you can do before bedtime is, and before you get into the big routine and stuff, is have a bath, have a cool down bath. It doesn't have to be super cold. Obviously, we want kids and babies to be comfortable, but it's not going to be warm either. But a bath can help lower our core body temperatures, even if it's a bit on the cooler side. That's what we need for sleep, and that's obviously what's going to help us stay comfortable. So maybe having a cool or lukewarm bath just before getting them ready for bed will help cool them down from the day, if it's been really warm. Now, when it comes to what babies should wear to sleep, for anybody who follows Birth Baby Sleep on Instagram, every once in a while we post we have that kind of one pager from our new baby sleep guide around, what's the temperature outside and what are our recommendations for what to sleep in. When it's really getting hot, we tend to think, okay, well, we're just going to put this baby in a diaper then. We're not going to put any other clothes on. And absolutely, that is an option. No question. I'm never going to take options away from you here. But hear me out. If your little one wears a sleep sack for sleep, and they really start to get used to that. So even though it's crazy hot out, if you don't put the sleep sack on one night and they're just in the diaper, they might be like, what's up here? Like, the sleep sack is really that strong of a sleep cue because it's one of those things that they only wear when they're going to sleep. So if they're already pretty used to that, I would vote to try to keep it if you can, okay? If it is if it is a lightweight sleep sack, like summer weight, like 0.5 TOG, thermal overall grade, that means it's a lighter fabric, a summer kind of fabric. I personally am more inclined to say, let's just wear the diaper and the very lightweight sleep sack, as opposed to just the diaper or a diaper and a shirt. Okay? I vote for the sleep sack over clothing, if that makes any sense, because it is such a strong sleep cue and it will help keep the sleep regular and going well. Sometimes babies, you might notice if they're not wearing the sleep sack one night that maybe they don't sleep as well or they have more trouble falling asleep. And that's normal. So if you feel like it's not too hot, they can still have a layer on. It's a very lightweight layer, by the way, and much lighter than any of their clothing would be. So my vote would be to just go with a diaper and a very lightweight sleep sack so they can still be comfortable, but not too hot. Okay, let's get into a little bit about not necessarily the sleeping stuff, but a couple other things when it comes to the heat. Obviously, we want to stay out of the sun. We want to stay in the shade. Babies under 6 months really should be in the shade and not too much in the sun anyway, because they don't wear sunscreen even. But let's talk about sunglasses for a second. Full disclosure, I thought that baby sunglasses, well, no, I should say as an adult, and I have light blue eyes, so I find I'm very sensitive to the light, so I totally get sunglasses and I wear them a lot. However, I thought, honestly, when I was first having babies, that the baby sunglasses were more just because they were adorable, right? Like, why would your baby need sunglasses? I don't know why I thought that. If I need sunglasses, why don't they need them? Anyway, here's what I'm about to tell you. I learned at our pregnancy and parenting expo back in May from one of our vendors, Insight Optometry. So I'm so glad that they came, and I'm so glad that I met them and had a chat with them. They had obviously some really cool baby sunglasses on there, but they educated me, and I hope some of you too, around the need for sunglasses, for especially for babies, because of how sensitive things are for them, that they actually are very, very helpful. So you know where you can get some baby sunglasses is over at one of my favorite baby stores at Nurtured over on Agricola here in Halifax. They have a variety of options, and I know they've worked with Insight Optometry there as well, so they get the importance. I needed to be educated on that one. So getting outside on a nice day, even when it's hot, like we can't help ourselves, right? But if you have some little sunglasses for your little one, you'll be protecting their eyeballs as well. So yeah, just thought you should know that they're not just to be cute and adorable, they're actually helpful. And definitely making sure we're offering lots of fluids during the day as well. If your baby is under 6 months of age, all they need for fluids is breast milk or formula, whatever you happen to be feeding them. So we don't offer babies under 6 months of age water. They don't need it. It's not necessary. And, water on top of those other things could actually be harmful for a baby under 6 months. So know that your breast milk will have more thirst quenching properties to it to help keep your baby nice and cool and their thirst quenched. And, just offering regular bottles, formula, breastfeeding throughout the day more regularly, more frequently. It's always good to offer. Let them refuse if they don't want it, but offering fluids is going to be extremely helpful for keeping them well hydrated. One other thing I want to get into about safety is to be careful about car seat covers. Okay? There's quite a few on the market out there, and sometimes people don't have an actual car seat cover. I'm talking about like a UV cover, something that can cover from the sun. Let's say if you're going for a walk and baby's in the stroller or their car seat and you want to keep them mostly covered from the sun. So we may be getting some covers for the car seat or the stroller for this purpose that would hopefully have some airflow in them, right? But even the ones that have good airflow, it can still get even hotter in that car seat or in that stroller if the baby is covered up. So I just want to put a plug in for just, nothing can keep your baby as safe as you just keeping your eyes on them. Right. And I don't mean to say like be a helicopter parent or anything, but like during the day and when they're napping and if we're outside is just checking in on them, making sure they're not sweating, putting your hand or your fingers on their chest or just in between their shoulder blades at the base of the neck for checking for their core body temperature to give you kind of an idea. So if they're getting really warm and sweaty, we do want to try to cool them down. And sometimes with those car seat covers, even the quote unquote breathable ones, or if they have an airflow pocket or something, they still can get pretty warm. So I just want to make sure that you know that. So we're just at least being aware. I can remember using car seat covers in the summer for this very purpose. And feeling a little bit more comfortable that at least the sun wasn't beating down on them, but definitely making sure that they're not getting sweaty and that there's still airflow and they're not in that for too long is fine. And so with that being said, if you don't have a car seat cover or a stroller cover and you're using just a regular blanket or something like that, that is even more dangerous because there's not as much airflow and it does get really hot. So just be mindful of those. It's best to stay out of the sun and maybe go somewhere near water where there can be some shade, or maybe staying inside in a cooler environment if you can. And now I feel like I'm just rambling onto the things that are common sense. But I do hope this was helpful. If you guys have any questions and want to continue this conversation, this is absolutely the sort of things that we do in our Bringing Up Baby community membership. We also have a free platform called the Perinatal Support Network, where we have some of these conversations there as well. And of course, you can find me on Instagram at Birth Baby Sleep. I always love connecting with you there. So let me know if any questions come up, guys. Stay cool, stay comfortable, rest easy knowing your babies are safe because you're following some of these guidelines, and we're all going to get through this together. All right, go get a big drink of water and have a good day. See you next time. If you're looking for more information or support along your parenting journey, check out birthbabysleep.ca. That's where you're going to find prenatal classes, postpartum and new baby resources, and sleep support during the childhood years. You can now join our Bringing Up Baby community membership as well, which has tons of additional benefits to helping you through all kinds of sleep challenges and transitions, navigating the transition to solid foods, and even your transition through early parenthood. If you have any questions, just send them my way. Lastly, but certainly not least, if you got something out of this episode or our show in general, leaving a rating or a quick review goes a really long way to helping others find us. So please consider leaving one. That's all for now. I'm Ashley Cooley, and we'll see you back here next time.